Hey friends, welcome to today's video. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Today we're going to be playing with some brand new makeup, just kind of random shopping trips, random PR. I collected products that I haven't really played with yet, and we are going to just get ready. So the product I'm really excited is the one we're going to start out with. It is the liquid foundation from Kira West. I really hope I said that correctly. I will have the name of it here on the screen. I picked this up from Blue Mercury last week. It was kind of my last minute shopping trip for their summer party that they had, their summer party sales event. And I'm really excited to try this. So what sold me on this is the texture is supposed to be very lightweight, sheer to medium buildable coverage. It's supposed to have like a natural radiant finish. And it's just one of those brands that I have seen. I see it more online than I have seen it in stores. Blue Mercury near me has it, but that's the only store near me that I think carries it. So it's one of those brands that I've been very curious about, similar to Westman Atelier. I had the same experience with Westman Atelier. I would see them online, but I never had an opportunity to see them in store. And I ordered product and I loved it. So I have high hopes for this. I do have a new concealer that I have been testing and I really love, and I don't think I've shared it yet. And it is a drugstore concealer. It is the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Triple Action Concealer. So we're gonna apply that and talk about that. You know, I've just got some other random things in here. I've got some bronzer and blush from Sigma Beauty and a palette from Charlotte Tilbury, just a bunch of random stuff. So we are gonna get ready. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of tuck my hair back here. I went and got kind of mini bangs last night and you know, I'm just getting used to them. So I'm just gonna tuck them behind my ear. Now the only thing I have on right now is my Elastin Hydro Tint SPF. I know that that SPF works well under every single foundation, so I feel pretty confident using it under a brand new foundation. If it doesn't look good under this, then I'm not gonna fault the Hydro Tint. I'm gonna fault the foundation because I have yet to, that SPF just looks good under everything. So the shade that I got, you guys, is called F140 Paper Thin, I think is the name of the shade. Let me give you a little bit of details about this foundation before we get into the application. So it retails for $48, which, you know, is a higher price point, but in my head, I imagined that this was gonna be a much higher price point, so I'm excited about that. It is an organic cosmetic line. It is, let me read you, I'm just gonna read you off of the website. It says it's a serum-like formula that builds from light to medium coverage. Use a little for a fresh-faced luminous glow. Add more for a natural-looking medium coverage that smooths, evens, and perfects. It's super gentle on the skin, has a long-lasting, hydrating, comfortable wear thanks to ingredients like certified organic chamomile water, hyaluronic acid, and a blend of cold-pressed oils. It has a little dropper to apply the product. I'm gonna apply it on the back of my hand. Okay, and I'm gonna show you guys the texture of this. It's a very thin texture. So as you can see, it's starting to slide down the hand. That gives you an idea of how thin and lightweight it is. I'm going to just go straight from my brush to the product on my hand. Start in the center of the face. It's not as watery as I thought it would be. It is thin, but it's not super, super thin. Let's see how this is building. The coverage is nice, not totally sheer. It actually gives pretty good coverage. I was thinking it was going to be really sheer right off the bat and then you'd have to build to get coverage, but I'm not finding that I'm really going to need to build this much. It has a really pretty like radiance to it. I mean, my skin already had a glow from my SPF, but I can see that the foundation is supporting that. Okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to grab another little pump of it. So I did about a drop. I'm going to do 2 drops. The first application I got 2 drops and now I just added another 2 drops to give you an idea of how much I'm using. Okay, this looks really pretty and really natural, and I think this color is literally my exact color of my face. So it does kind of set a little quickly for a serum foundation, which is good. Sometimes I find serum foundations are so thin that I can spread and work with it for a while. Where this, you have some time to work with it, but I feel like it does kind of set in place more quickly than other serum foundations. This looks really natural, honestly. It looks kind of like my skin looked before I applied foundation, but just more even. And honestly, just pressing my brush is gonna do all the work. I'm not really feeling the need to like blend out too much. Okay, well that looks good. Very nice subtle glow. It didn't really do much to minimize or blur pores or texture, so I wouldn't go as far to say it's a blurring foundation, but it looks really pretty right now. Let's go ahead and apply concealer. So the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Triple Action Concealer, I've been using this for a couple of weeks and I love this product. I have big complaints though about the applicator. It just doesn't work. Quite honestly, I think the idea here was that it would be like this cooling wand to kind of cool or depuff or soothe under the eyes. But the problem with that is it doesn't really pick up product. So you find that you have to kind of go in several times to get an amount of concealer that will actually work. Now it feels good. It feels nice and cool, but you need to kind of go in here twice to pick up enough product. Now this formula is so beautiful. It feels very serum-y. It feels like a treatment. Okay, so what I like to do is apply it underneath the eyes and in the inner corner. You saw that I had to dip in a couple of times. And then I will go in with the Angie BK Beauty concealer brush and blend this out. You could use your finger, you could use a sponge. Keep in mind if you use a sponge, it's gonna shear out coverage. I wanna build as much coverage as I can. This is a lighter weight formula, so if you wanna build coverage, I recommend using a brush like this and pressing. If you use your finger and pull or swipe, you'll shear it out. If you use a sponge, you'll shear it out. It just blends out beautifully. It feels so nice on the skin. I think this is a great formula for drier under eyes. Very lightweight and very hydrating. The shade that I picked up in this, by the way, is Buff Beige, and it seems to be a good shade for me. It's a little bit light, but it's not too light. So I probably could have gone up one shade, but this shade works. To set everything, I'm gonna use the new Westman Atelier Vital Skin Pressed Powder. I've really been enjoying this product. I picked this up a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna take the BK Beauty 104 brush, and I'm gonna pick up the powder, and I'm just gonna lightly press it to set everything. I don't wanna disrupt my foundation or concealer, so I'm not gonna brush or sweep, I'm just gonna press. You can see that it gives a nice soft matteness to the skin, but it doesn't add a layer of pigment, so it doesn't change the color of the foundation. It really just cuts down that shine and sets everything in place. This is a beautiful formula. Next, I'm gonna go add some warmth to the skin. This is the matte bronzer in the shade Medium from Sigma. They sent me a beautiful PR package, so thank you, Sigma. I'm not sure if these are brand new. They sent me the whole array of shades. I'm using the shade Medium. It's a matte bronzer. It looks like the perfect shade. I'm gonna use the same brush. Just gonna pick up the product, and I'm gonna start here at the end of my hairline and press inward towards, like, imagining an imaginary line right there with the corner of my mouth, and that's where I'm leading to. So this is a nice warm shade. I wouldn't use this for contouring. This really is a true bronzer shade, and it's got enough warmth to it to where it could really be like your bronzer and your blush if you wanted. Like if you're a little bit deeper than me and you wanted to use this as a blush, it would totally work. Oh, that's nice. Lots of good pigment, but not too much. Like it's easy to work with. I picked up quite a bit. That's really pretty. Okay, next I'm gonna go in and kind of light up the cheeks. This is the blush in the shade Berry Love from Sigma. It's a nice, pretty, kind of cool tone pink. You can see that. Let's take a look at it on the fingertip. So we're gonna apply this on the cheeks. I'm gonna use the same brush. So this 104 is a big fluffy brush, meaning it's going to pick up product and apply it very light and sheer. I can tell these products have a lot of pigment, so I don't wanna use a stiff, more dense brush because I'm gonna probably be left with like clown cheeks. So I wanna use something really soft. So I'm just gonna use the tip of this. This is a pretty big fat brush, so I really just wanna focus on using the tip of this. It's tapered. I'm gonna go ahead and tap onto my finger just to ensure I don't have too much product, and I'm gonna softly sweep up. Ooh, that's beautiful. I'm having very light pressure, you guys, very, very light pressure. This blush is very pigmented, so I wanna avoid putting too much. Okay, that is really pretty. If you feel like you've got too much like I did here, I'm just gonna take my brush, kind of run it over a towel or a paper towel, and I'm just gonna continue to bounce and blend that out. You can always go back with your face powder if you want as well and kind of soften everything, which I'm gonna go ahead and do that over here. And I'm gonna switch brushes because this brush has quite a bit of pigment on it. So I'm gonna use the same brush, same style of brush. I'm just taking my face powder and we're just gonna kind of bounce right over that to soften everything. Okay, next I'm gonna go in for eyes. And I know I mentioned at the beginning of this using a Charlotte Tilbury quad, but I totally forgot that I have these really cute little trios from Kaja Beauty that were sent over to me, and I wanna play with them because I was swatching them the other night and they look so beautiful. I'm actually going to use an eyeshadow crayon stick for my base. This is by Terry. It is the Ombre Black Star crayon stick, and this is the first time I've purchased this product. I have used this a couple of times. It's really nice. This is the shade Bronze Moon. I'll show you what it looks like. It's a very nice, silky, creamy formula. I mean, I think that it's as good as the Bobbi Brown in terms of creaminess, but I don't know that it beats my Bobbi Brown. It's good, but I still think I'm gonna stick with my Bobbi Brown. So I'm just gonna run this onto the eyelid from the lashes until about the crease. And I'm just gonna take my finger and blend this out. Very light and sheer. Now, normally I would just wear this product by itself. I wouldn't layer shadow on top of it because it is, you know, pretty reflective. It's got pigment to it. There's really no need. But for the sake of wanting to try new products in this video, I'm really going to sheer this out and use this as a primer. It's a pretty color. This is beautiful. For mature eyes or eyes with a lot of texture, if you want to wear shimmer, I really recommend using a cream or a liquid formula because it just can be sheared out so nice that it looks kind of like see-through and it's not too frosty on the lid. This is a really beautiful formula. Okay, next we're gonna play with these little guys from Kaja. They sent me 2 of them. I have the shade Mauve Bouquet and then Peach Madeleine. And these are nice because you get 3 different shades and formulas all in one. So the first one is a very like creamy, highly reflective shimmer. It's so beautiful, so rich in pigment. The next shade, you also get a shimmer, but it's not as creamy. It's more of a powder formula and it's a little, not as intense in pigment. I will show you that one next to it. And then the last shade you get, the bottom, is a matte shade. And this one in this color is really nice, pretty, kind of like a peach sorbet. Really pigmented, beautiful, creamy, matte formula. I am gonna go in with the Mauve Bouquet though, because I think it really works with what I've already set down. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go into the matte shade and we're gonna build a very, very sheer crease. Now this shade looks pretty dark to me, so I'm gonna take a big fluffy crease brush. I don't wanna use anything small and dense like either of these because this would be harder to blend out. Do you guys see that? It's focusing. Here we go. I'm gonna use something big and fluffy. So I'm gonna start by just picking it up right on the tip. This is the BK Beauty and Angie Hot and Flashy. This is the A503. I'm gonna tap off any excess and I'm gonna softly kind of sweep this into the crease. I always like to work in little bitty layers. I've always done makeup that way. I think it just gives a more soft, beautiful end result. You know, I follow all different types of makeup artists. I follow makeup artists that are more on the natural side. I follow makeup artists that are, you know, really artistic and dramatic. And so you see those artists that layer on a lot of product and it looks beautiful and so artistic. I find as I get older, it's really about little layers. Not to say you can't wear a lot of makeup, you can wear a lot of products, but it just looks better when it's lighter and more sheer. You can always tweak and make your own version of something you see online too. So I like to take my time and build, build, build. Next, I'm gonna go in and pack the middle shade onto my lid. It's this really pretty shimmery pinky shade. I'm gonna show you what it looks like on the finger. So we're gonna pack that onto the eyelid. Oh, that's so beautiful. That is gorgeous. These are really nice formulas. I've had a couple of them and I really like them. I also like how compact they are. You know, it's just one little product and you get 3 shades in here. Now I'm just taking a brush. This is the 205 and I'm just kind of layering and softening everything. Perfect. So pretty. Okay, next I'm gonna go back in and add a little bit more of that matte just to clean up. I'm gonna take the By Terry eyeshadow crayon and we're gonna run this onto the lower lash line. And I'm gonna run it all the way from the inner corner into the outer corner. It's very light and reflective, so it's not heavy or dark. Normally I like to keep my liner on the outer corner and over about halfway so that I don't close up my eyes and make them smaller, but because this is so light reflective, it doesn't really close the eye up. Next I'm gonna go in with a tiny little crease brush. This is the Angie Hot and Flashy BK Beauty A504. And I'm gonna take a little bit of that matte shade and we're just gonna kind of set that on the lower lash line, and it's gonna also smoke it out a little bit. For upper liner, I'm gonna use this pencil from Trish McAvoy. It's called Deep Aubergine. This formula is so nice. It's very creamy, very silky. It makes a great formula for tight lining. It's like a gel, but in a pencil formula. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my lashes off camera, but to let you know, I'm using the Dior Lash Primer and I'm using the Kosas Big Clean Mascara. For lips, I'm using BK Beauty Inner Beauty, and I'm gonna skip a liner. Love this color. And I'm gonna top it with this gloss from e.l.f. This is the Lip Plumping Gloss. I love this gloss. It's a really pretty kind of pink opal. It's more like a clear opal-y shade. And there's no shimmer to it. It just gives the lips like a super glossy plump effect. One little trick you can do if you want that extra full plump lip is take your like plumping gloss and kind of go right over the edge of your lip. So this is the finished look. I love the way everything came out. If you have green eyes, you definitely need to pick this up. It looks so beautiful on green eyes. It definitely like amps up the color of your green. Purple is a complementary color of green, so when you put the two next to each other, it just makes either one of them look more vibrant. And I love this color of purples and pinks because it's very, very wearable, especially for those of us that typically wear more neutrals like me. Hello. This is something that I can get on board with and wear daily and still feel, you know, like it's kind of in my wheelhouse. So really, really pretty. The formulas are so nice on these. I love that. The foundation looks really great. I mean, it has a pretty natural radiance to it. Remember, I did cut it down with that powder, but I'm starting to see a little bit of it come through. If you guys want a full foundation review on this foundation, let me know in the comment section below and I can schedule to do that where I do multiple check-ins and let you know how it is wearing. But yeah, everything looks really good. I'll have all the products that I use listed and linked in the description box below. Thanks for hanging out with me and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye guys.